being in the now is the only thing we have. So I just started with filming people in the now, and I never stopped. I like the way it's nothing and it's everything all together. I think I'm a storyteller, and the camera is my tool. My name is Ismael Lotz. I'm a filmmaker. I live in Groningen, and I got diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. I first experienced movies and TV as a young boy, watching the A-Team and Knight Rider and all of these American shows on television. And while I was doing that, I thought, wow, I want to make this stuff. People make this stuff. I want to make this stuff. So my dad brought me to the cinemas a lot, and when the curtains go open, there was that experience even bigger. For example, the Spielberg movies in the 80s, E.T., or Back to the Future, were like magic happening on the big screen. So I thought, I want to make films, yeah. I started out making films at a very early age. My uncle bought a film camera that I also could use, and very early on I thought, I wanna, yeah, this feels right to make things, to shoot things. So first my uncle had a Super 8 camera, which is 8mm film on a cassette of 3 minutes. So my uncle was standing behind me when I was shooting with this camera. So you hold it like this, and then you aim for a shot, and then you press on a button, and it was brrrr. So you could hear the seconds going on that cassette, and my uncle was like behind me, like, stop, it's expensive. So, and we only have 3 minutes. Okay. So it made me very conscious on what shots would be needed to tell the story, how simple the story was, just normal life. I was very young when I made the decision I need to go to Amsterdam to go to the Film Academy, because that was the only way to be a filmmaker. And they refused me on being a director. And so I thought, okay, let's have another try. So the very next year I tried again, and they refused me again. And then I thought, okay, then I will do it on my own. I don't need you. And in 1996, Mission Impossible Part 1 came out. And the film studios had a contest which you can participate on. And you had to answer 3 questions and fill in a slogan. And I participated on this contest, and I thought, how do I stick out on this contest? So I made a box, and I painted it black with the profile of Tom Cruise on it, and a big train wreck inside the box, and I incorporated the answers in the flaps of the box, including the slogan. I won this contest, which was a 9-day trip to all of those locations where the movie was shot. So it was a big prize, and when I won this, I was like, what? And the lady of the film studio told me, like, we had these mountains of postcards in our office, and on that pile was your box. And they all said together, well, yeah, we could go through all these piles, but this boy has made this box, made a big effort, so he should win. And I filmed the whole trip. I made an edit of 1.5 minutes just on the music of Mission Impossible, and I sent it to the music station to thank them, like, thank you. It seems to me that this is nicer than sending you just a postcard. Here's my video. It's only 1.5 minutes. I'm very curious on what you guys think of it. let me know, and greetings, Ismael. The very next day, the producer said to me, Ismael, we never ever hear of people again who win prizes at our station. So to hear anything is magnificent, but to have this professional made video clip is awesome, and we would like to broadcast it and invite you to the studio to talk about your adventures in those countries with the trip. And it gave me the opportunity to have this learning experience at the TV station. So when I was at this TV station without any education, without any backup from any school, I was learning how to operate the big broadcast cameras. But at some point I thought I have to break free of being this full-time camera operator within this TV station. I need to do more things. So I did this corporate gig in all of Asia. But the last country on that job was Tokyo. So I spent a few days off also in Tokyo. And in Tokyo was a big Andy Warhol exhibition in the MoMA, Museum of Modern Art. And in this exhibition was a screen test in which Andy Warhol filmed people in his studio for 3, 4, 5 minutes. But they weren't really themselves. It was more of like they were pretending to be someone else, or they put on a mask or a character. And while I was watching these films, I started to notice that around me in that same museum, people were looking on their phones, on Facebook or WhatsApp or whatever. And I thought, you're in a museum. Why can't you wait until you outside of the museum? So it made me wonder on the attention span of people in general, including myself. Because I was watching those films, I was looking at people for many minutes, but then again I wasn't. I was like, how much longer is this? And it triggered me to experiment myself with this. So I went back to the hotel and I was experimenting with being in front of the camera, not saying anything, just being myself in front of the camera. And so it started with me, just me, Bas, and some friends, and after that it became more and more. So even more people. So I thought I have to build a website around it. So on areyounow.com, I could imagine that if I had enough people, and you scroll through the website, you could see the changing of the nature, the seasons. You could see that, because I wanted to film people mostly outside and be present with those people in nature, just with the sounds and birds and all of that. Like when I film people for those minutes, you could say, well, nothing is happening. But also everything is happening in those 3 minutes, because people get absorbed by the camera, looking into the camera and being themselves, and forget about the whole world around the camera and just be there. Can't explain it. You have to experience yourself. So I did my first feature film in 2016, and I was on the film set, and I was stressed out because I was co-directing it, and I was the DP on it, director of photography, and I was doing the edit of it. So I was also there. How can I cut this scene? So I was there on multiple levels, but I wasn't there at that very now moment. I wasn't enjoying the moment of making this film. I was making that film, a big feature film with a lot of people. And so the joy of making that film, I wasn't experiencing that because I wasn't in that moment. I was worried about how can I, in the future, cut this See, and even the near future, like the upcoming scene in the afternoon, how in the hell are we going to shoot that, because the location is different than when we visited. I was worried about things that were about to happen in the afternoon, but I was in that morning shooting that scene, which should have been more, I should have been more focused on. So it's a shame that you are not in the now, I think. Enjoy now. So Who is Alice became a success, and that could help me on my way to get a working permit in America. And it did. I applied for a working visa, and then I got it. So I was working on going to America, working in America, chasing that dream that I have always had in my life. And then I got diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. So that hit me. That was a bomb, because I can't have that. I'm going to America and be a filmmaker there. And then the doctor told me and my girlfriend it's stage 4 lung cancer, so it's not only in the lung but also in my bone. So I asked Caroline next to me, like, how many stages are there? And she knew about there are 4 stages, but she couldn't tell me at that moment that that was the final stage. So she said 5. There are 5 stages. Okay. Horrible if you are in 5. So I thought, let's go anyway. Why not? What do I've got to lose? The statistics aren't that friendly anyway, so I thought they can't make me more dead than dying from a disease that I didn't plan for. Like you can plan your disease. Oh, let's see. When I turn 42, have lung cancer. No. So I was doing these vlogs anyway about the working permit to the USA, and now I thought, let's keep on filming and talk about how to deal with this disease. So I started Lotz Lives, and many people ask me why film yourself while being in this situation. It's a horrible situation. You have this disease. But to me, camera is, like we spoke about, it's a normal thing. The camera is my friend. I'm familiar with that. It's like instead of writing a journal or painting a painting, it's like talking to camera and talk about how I feel or what I did or how it's going. So I thought, let's make films about that. So I made short documentaries about the whole process and called it Lotz Lives. I'm still filming, not every day, not even every week, not even every month, but when I feel for it, when I feel like, okay. So I'm thinking now, for example, doing something about feeling tired, because it's difficult to explain people about feeling tired when you have cancer. Only if you have cancer, then you know what I'm talking about. But otherwise, people go like, "Oh yeah, we get tired as well. Go take a nap." Well, it's not that. I can sleep all day and not feeling any more energized or whatever. It's a very hard always their tiredness. So I'm thinking about doing something with that now, making a film, explaining it that more. For example, and so you can make, so it started out to be like a coping mechanism for myself, filming, but it still is, but it's also letting people in and letting people see what it is to have this, and so people can relate more to having this disease altogether. I think I'm a storyteller, and the camera is my tool, and I feel like I need to do. I don't know why. I don't know why. I feel like I have to do it, but it's something that is there from the start, when I was born. But I can't explain why. If you feel like you want to make whatever, why don't you? What's keeping you from doing it? Waiting to get older? Well, that's not useful. Maybe you don't get older. Maybe you got hit by a truck tomorrow, or you get lung cancer someday. Who knows? So if you feel like you need to shoot a film, or be a good photographer, or be a good painter, an artist in general, then why not be that artist? Just do it. Hallelujah! This is how you make a movie.